Begin Podfix Network transmission in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Yummy and Fearless podcast with the Side Chicks, where we offer our side of the issues. Thank you so much for listening. Please follow us at Yummy Fearless on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and even Pinterest, where you'll find additional content from today's show. You can also listen to us on Apple iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, and Spotify. Please rate, like, review, subscribe, and share. And if no one else has told you today, we love you. Now let's get into the show.
Computer. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're past past that.
Introductions.
I think we're past introductions. Plus we always forget to say with the side chicks because we give our side of the issues, which is what we're going to do today.
Yes. It's been a while though.
It's been a while, but
we took an unplanned another damn hiatus. Okay.
It's okay. When you're old, you can do that. When you are an old lady, you reserve the right to take a hiatus every now and again.
Unplanned hiatus.
Hiatus.
We had a lot of work, like working a lot of overtime. We still have real regular
responsibilities. Jobs.
Yes. And
I'm an old lady and I get tired. So
yeah, literally that simple. We're old, we work, and shit, I had to lay my ass down. We ain't been on here, but we back.
But it's gonna be good. It's worth the wait.
Yeah,
that's all I can say. Because
yeah,
we have sides of issues that we need to discuss today.
So much happened. So fucking much has happened. It's been crazy. So what
you want to talk about crazy ass Charleston White and T.I?
Yes.
The T.I and Lil Boosie. Yeah, give us the background.
Okay, so Charleston White is an internet commentator. I guess he's been active on the internet for the last 2 to 3 years. He lives I think outside of Dallas, Texas.
He's an older dude though.
Yeah, he's an older guy. And he also calls himself a comedian, but he gives commentary on Black culture, but he's also a very successful community activist. But he plays what he calls a character on the internet. And so recently he's been trending quite a bit because he made some comments about rapper and fellow community activist T.I and Lil Boosie. I believe so.
Okay.
Sons. They're I think they're like 18, 19-year-old sons. And their fathers heard about it and they weren't happy with
boy, are they not happy. I mean, it has turned into a real thing on the internet. I mean, it has blown the internet up. And the gist of it is T.I. I don't know about Lil Boosie, but I know T.I. I've seen a lot of press, if you will, about T.I. being really, really mad to the point where he is trying to get people to cancel Charleston White, trying to get people to take down his videos, has offered to lay hands on him and called the police on him. And well, at least according to Charleston White, he has, he's called the district attorney, everybody from the Fulton County Police and sheriff to the district. I mean, everybody. So
T.I. said that he would put his foot so far up Charleston's ass that his shoestrings would be tickling his nose. That is
that's kind of funny. Quote. That's kind of funny.
A direct quote.
I never thought T.I. was funny, but that's kind of funny.
Well, T.I. thinks he's funny. He's trying to be a comedian now too.
And I'm not getting comedian vibes from him. So what do you think about T.I. offering to, put his body parts inside of the body parts of Charleston White?
I really thought T.I was smarter than that, than to record himself making a threat and publish it on the internet. I did think he was smarter than that. Because, well, but in addition to that, T.I.'s son, King, Kang, as T.I would say, pronounce it, he also recorded himself threatening Charleston White as well and uploading it onto the
Charleston White responded, and I think that's what got T.I really up in arms. I think that Charleston White's response to the threat from T.I.'s son is what got T.I up in arms. Do you think that's what it was?
I think that's what it was. And I think that T.I sort of got beat at his own game also, because usually, and he also attempted all of this, usually he can win the popularity contest. You know, he has the biggest platform, he has the biggest reach, you know, he has fans, and then he can brag about his money. So he attempted all of these things with this disagreement that he's having with Charleston, but it didn't work this time.
But tell the audience what Charleston White said that triggered T.I.
Well, I think that it was a number of things, but probably he threatened to Trayvon Martin, his son,
out of bounds, completely out of bounds.
If he came at him. So I don't agree with that particular part of it. I don't. But I also, if T.I were my friend, this is what I would say to T.I as a friend. And I would start this by saying, you're not going to enjoy what I'm about to say to you. But I'm going to tell you this, okay? Your son is not a sympathetic character. Because he's been on the internet threatening to pistol whip Waffle House employees for putting pickles on his sandwiches. He's been on the internet talking shit about the low income that they make. You too gave him an amen on that.
Oh,
he's not a sympathetic character. So, and the truth of the matter is that whenever you're dealing with something and you want the consensus of the public, the person that you're putting that story on matters. Case in point, one of the most famous situations for Black people, the Montgomery bus boycott. There was a pregnant Black girl that had that situation before Rosa Parks. But you know what the committee said for her? She wasn't a good public person for them to put their issue on. But when it happened to Rosa Parks, she was old, she went to church, she wasn't pregnant, she wasn't fucking nobody, she was married. They said she's the right public figure to put this whole movement on. And they chose her, and she was the right person. So you may not like this answer, but the truth is the public perception of a person matters. And T.I, your son is not a good public representation for people to tag on to want to support. So if you feel some type of way that people aren't rallying behind your child, even though this man may be saying things that are way off, you know, whatever. However, T.I, your son is not a good person for people to be, he's not a sympathetic character. And the reason for that is on him. And some people may even say is on you as his father. Is it fair? Maybe not. Is it true? Yeah, this is nothing new, but it's the truth. That's what I would tell T.I if he were my friend.
That would be a good thing. I think that would be fair. I think, though, that in addition to the really insensitive thing that Charleston White said about T.I.'s son, it was coupled with the whole, he's ugly. And that led us to, you know, I'm kind of, you know, so what I did, I wholly and completely disagree with the characterization of hurting somebody's child like Trayvon Martin. To me, I'm still hurt by Trayvon Martin. So that that did not resonate with me. However, when he called him ugly, now that resonated because he is not the best looking. He is not easy on the eyes. I'm sorry, guys. Not easy on the eyes.
Now
And
that I don't.
if you're gonna be, it's like this. He brought it up to your point. He's not a sympathetic character. You are absolutely right, and he is out there wilding. And if you're gonna be wilding, then you cannot be ugly. If you're gonna be if you're gonna be ugly, then you can't be out there wilding. You acting like an ass, and you're ugly, and it makes you more ugly. You know, you can be one or the other. You can be handsome and wild out, or you can be, you know, have a good attitude and be ugly. and no, you can have a good attitude and not be attractive, but you can't be unattractive and be wilding out.
Have an unattractive
Those
attitude.
don't match. Yeah, have an unattractive.
Out. You gotta do the left side with you.
I'm sorry. Right exactly. Let the left hand see what the right hand is doing. See, and you can empathize with the.
And that's what Charleston keeps referring to that young man as a ugly yellow long-haired freak, which is harsh.
Which is true.
Which is harsh.
And true.
Which is harsh. But again, so I can see how as a parent
that would trigger you.
You don't want to hear no shit like that. You don't want to hear no shit like that.
Well, then check your ugly ass son. Check your ugly ass son. Don't get mad because people are he listen, your son came to a adult fight. He came acting like an adult, talking about what he gonna do to a grown ass, old ass man, 50-something years old. He is fair game. And I don't think that, while I don't agree with his, you know, characterization of how he would hurt this young man. And here's the thing. If you see, I've watched some videos now with Charleston. I wasn't familiar with him until you hit me on to him. I've watched several interviews and videos with him. The man is simply trolling. He doesn't mean any of the shit he's saying. Well, I take that back. He does mean some of it, but once he found out that he triggered T.I,
he kept twisting it, sticking it in,
and T.I bought right into it
over and over. He fell right in. Exactly.
He shouldn't have done that.
So exactly. So if you look at Charleston White, if you watch a few of his videos, he tells you he's playing a character.
Because he says some crazy shit.
He says some crazy shit. And if you watch enough of them, you can see the difference from when he's in character.
Yes, you can.
And when he's not in character.
You really can.
And he's a very lucid, professional, educated, you know.
Yeah, it was trippy because I saw so many videos of him in character and I was like, I don't think I like this motherfucker like that. But then I saw him out of character and I was like, okay, I see what he's doing. He's trolling.
You get it. And he's trolling. And I saw a video of him today when he was like, I'm doing what I've done all my life. When my mother took me to the white neighborhood YMCA, they were playing nice badminton. I'd play along nicely. When she dropped me off at my cousins in the hood, they was acting hood, I'd act hood. He was like, it's a survival mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to these motherfuckers the way that they talk to each other.
But he's gonna get his ass kicked though.
They say in songs, fuck you and fuck your mama. That's the way they talk to each other. And that's the way I'm talking to him. He's playing everybody.
But he's going to get his ass kicked. He is really going to get his ass kicked.
Quite possibly. But to his point though, if somebody's words are putting you in a situation where you're ready to be incarcerated or physically hurt somebody over their words.
But it's always been that way. It's always been that way. That's what the hood is about. Somebody disrespected me. It's not disrespectful in a physical way. It's always only ever been words. Somebody laughed too much. You say something in front of somebody's girl, which really triggers people. I mean, it's always been that way. It's stupid. I think is that a man thing? I don't know.
But that's part of his point. And as they're getting upset, if he studied them, they haven't studied him. I've only been looking at him for so long, and even I can check off these boxes. Okay. because I feel like he's not talking about me. I'm not no rapper. I'm not no thug. I ain't never been in no gang. Okay. I don't have a life of crime. He's not talking about me, but I either can look at it and see exactly what he's doing, how he's doing it, how he's checking off. If y'all too motherfucking stupid to do that, he literally is telling you his playbook. He literally will say what he's doing, and they still fall for it.
So what would you do? I mean, what do you think they should, what would have been a proper, appropriate response to the things he's saying? Because I think he started out by basically calling out T.I.'s son and Lil Boosie's son about their behavior, right? Because they were wilding out in the public. And so I think he said something, he made, you correct me, but I think he made a commentary on their parents' parenting,
right,
and their behavior in public, right?
So here's the thing. They are public figures. In addition to being public figures, especially for T.I, Lil Boosie too. Lil Boosie puts his children into the public. He discusses his children in the public. T.I had a TV show where they made money,
Right.
putting his children. You present your children to the public.
Right.
So here's the thing. You invited us in.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have to. You make enough motherfucking money that you didn't have to do a family hustle.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yep.
Even when the show motherfucking ended, your child live streams and it's all on social media, smoking weed,
That's
talking
ridiculous.
shit, threatening people, acting like a thug. He's doing that. So T.I has other kids. He has other sons. They don't do that shit. You don't know what the fuck they doing. You want to know why? Because they not out acting like they thugs.
Mm-hmm.
That little nigga is. So if he was my son, even if I didn't like what the fuck Charleston White said, I got enough sense to know this. I got the most to lose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the most famous.
Right.
For the longest.
Yep.
The most money. And just like T.I did a video going through his businesses and all the people he employs, well, motherfucker, if you know you got this list of things, your ass shouldn't be on here threatening violence and shit.
I wouldn't even dignify it.
Why would you dignify it?
I wouldn't even dignify it.
The second thing, I'm gonna check my motherfucking son.
Because point blank.
You shouldn't be putting up videos, smoking weed, threatening to a threat. That's against the law. And that man tagged the video to the prosecutor.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So you may not appreciate the way that he came. You may not appreciate how he did it, but first off, don't water it. Okay. You the one that extended this out by getting other people involved, putting your own videos up. First, you're going to try to the violence, the threats. Then you're going to try to be political about it. Then you're going to try to start calling people. Then you're going to try you and Boosie to do another live together.
Oh,
and
Lord.
his name,
which sounds so stupid. It's just like, come on,
stupid,
T.I.
Which is stupid. So, but the point is, one more time, this is why it's like, if he was my friend, I'd be like, you're not gonna want to hear this, but this is the truth. And then you're gonna get on here talking about you just can't believe more people and speak up for your family.
He said that?
He said that.
Oh my goodness.
Nigga, I can't speak on who he has personal relationships with, but if you think your son with the general public is a sympathetic character that people give a fuck about, you are delusional. Then you still sniffing coke.
This young man has had every opportunity, every advantage, every benefit probably in life, and he is simply showing his natural black arse.
Yes.
And it's not cute. He needs to be able to that's all I'm saying. You know, I don't usually talk about people's kids, but he is acting so ugly himself. It's not cute. It's not a good look. And he's embarrassing his father in the you know, why would you get your father in that position to where he has to defend you and defend your honor like that? Especially if you were doing what you were supposed to do and not all on the internet acting an arse, he wouldn't be into, but I don't think T.I is thinking. He's not using his brain. I would think, and he's a comedian. He's supposed to be able to take a joke. Anybody can see that Charleston White he just clowning, you know.
But the other thing that I don't think that T.I probably is in touch with at the moment is that his ego also got involved here.
How?
Because this random to him, that's what Charleston White is, a random.
For sure.
He got in that ass.
Oh.
He got in that ass.
The truth hurts.
That truth hurts because then Charleston White was, coming, they were going back and forth numerous times. And Charleston White, he may have missed his calling, okay? Because that motherfucker can
He's like a preacher.
and argue. And T.I got the gift of gab, but he met a motherfucker who got it better than him. He can't do nothing with Charleston.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like debating and, but T.I, he fucked with a bunch of dumb rappers. So he used to being the smartest motherfucker in the room. But there's nothing he could do with Charleston. Charleston was getting in that ass. He was calling him out as a father. He was calling him out as a man. And then when T.I bringing up the shit, then you know what people do? They gonna bring up your shit. So he talking about all the accusations that he and his wife had about drugging women and fucking
Oh my
them.
God. Yeah, that probably really triggered T.I.
Now
why are you bringing up shit?
Right. Then he said that Charleston was a informant. So what he say that for? Then he goes into like, tell your daddy, I'm an informant. I learned how to be one from him because that's how the fuck he got off when he had those federal charges for all those guns. So he drug him.
Yeah.
Drug him. He really did. And it wasn't T.I, nothing he could do. I don't care what kind of car you got. I don't care how many mansions you got. That country nigga drug your ass. Period.
So you sound like, you are on the side of it's about time somebody said something about some of these rappers. Is that what side you're on?
Hell motherfucking yeah.
What difference does it make? Why can't they just live their lives going on about their
lives? But the thing is, they have functioned for so long without any accountability. So you have somebody that's simply saying, that's just having a commentary about the life you live, the messages you put out, the charges you've had against you. That's all. Nobody's making nothing up. You've said these things.
Yep.
You've put this out here. You've represented this. And somebody that isn't sucking your dick, and they're just like, you know what? That's some bullshit. That's bad for the community. That's bad for youth. You're setting a terrible example. People follow you. People look up to you. Period. And these motherfuckers can't stand it. So that's the thing. These are words. They make their living off of words.
True.
And they about to lose their mind because somebody is saying words to them.
This is true. Now what about Charleston? I mean, his tactics though, could he have gone? Well, first of all, compared to T.I, he's a nobody, right? He is a nobody. I think, is there any other way that T.I could have handled himself that could have, we could have let him off the hook? Because we have let him off the hook for years, but.
You know what, T.I, to me, I think that he called himself, and I get it, trying to protect his family, then I think his ego got involved, and then his argument was like, kids should be off limits.
Should they though?
Okay, and so we've had this discussion before. And I believe kids should be off limits. However, the point that Charleston made was that these two gentlemen, one, are not children. Two, they forfeited that privilege when they put themselves in a situation of threatening the well-being and safety of someone else.
Ugly and well-behaved.
Right.
Or handsome and acting an ass. That's all I'm saying. If you're gonna be ugly, you better be well behaved. Damn it, because we getting at you.
So to me,
you can get this smoke. I don't care how you are.
T.I, Slip, and Boosie. Slip was showing, because to me, T.I shouldn't have put all them super emotional motherfucking videos up. Okay, one. He should have like
acting. You think he was serious? Was he acting or was he serious?
That nigga was in his feelings. That nigga was in his feelings.
Super emotional.
Fuck yeah.
And it sounds ridiculous. It's like I think he even alluded to not playing internet games. Dude, but you're playing the internet games right now because you're having an internet conversation that should be, if it were me and I really was in my feelings like that, and somebody say threatened my child, you know, and you know, his ugliness aside, let's just say my child said some things because he got 18-year-old sense that he should not have said. He got 18-year-old sense. 18-year-olds are going to do and say dumbass things. Okay, hopefully they live to tell the tale, because in this day and age, one false move and they can be hurt or worse, you know, maimed or whatever, or silenced forever. So, you know, thank goodness he has the protection of money and things like that. But if it were me and a grown ass, old ass man is going to threaten my 18-year-old, let me holler at you, player. We ain't about to do this on the internet. This is me and you talking right now. I'm not about to talk to you on the internet.
He tried to call him, and they recorded that, and Charleston played it.
Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me right now?
Yes.
What did he say?
Oh, it was a couple of them. You know, he was like, well, I just want to know why, you know, he got involved the kids. You know, he could say what he want about me, but why he involved in the kids? Oh,
so he called Charleston White to have that conversation?
Yeah. So
okay, so
Charleston's, I don't know, secretary or something, but they recorded it. Charleston got the recording, plays it. It's all on YouTube, right?
Why would he not? I wouldn't have even, and maybe he was just emotional at the time, but I'm not having a conversation with a secretary. I'm not having a conversation with the what do you call it? A voicemail. I need to talk to him. Here's my number. Have that Negro call me. I need to talk to him.
So here's the thing, like, and that's why you gotta, until you can get to that point where you can sort of separate your emotions from this, because the reality is he may or may not talk to you, and more than likely he won't. Okay, because it's not about talking to you. Clearly for this person, Charleston, it's about talking to the internet. It's not
okay. Fair enough. That's a good point.
So that's the reality. I feel him. I would have tried to have a conversation with him myself. You know, like, oh, I would have. To your point, I wouldn't have talked to a secretary. I would have been like, can you please have him call me? I would like to talk to him. I would have attempted to talk to him. You know, even if my child was wilding, I still would have tried to have a parent talk with him. But the internet shit, one more time, Charleston, he makes his living off the internet.
Right.
He's playing a character.
Yes.
He calls himself a comedian.
Yes.
This is the best thing that could ever happen to him.
Yes, he's getting a lot of the
fuck out of this.
You drive his stock up by engaging.
You have made him so much money and popularity. Yep. He's been trending. And none of that would have happened had you not kept uploading videos and then coming back on live again and again.
Yep.
You did that.
He is not incentivized at this point to talk to you, because then it ends.
He's trying to resolve this.
Right. So yes, that's a very good point that you just made. Like, he makes his internet. If he were trying to talk to you, y'all could have had the conversation, but clearly he is not. He's trying to talk to the internet, the people in internet land. So why, T.I, would you fall into that? Why even play into that? You know, he is trolling you. He's trolling
you. And then you get on here talking about,
you look weak.
You look weak. Anybody have anything to do with him? If you follow him, you against me.
That's real weak. That's real weak.
Like, it's already bad enough that he getting on here, Charleston White getting on here talking about, I just fuck Lil Boosie in his pussy. And then y'all getting up here acting like y'all on your period. This shit is y'all got so many feelings.
Wait, let me tell you this. So say what you want. People can say what they want about Jay-Z. I have not always been a Jay-Z fan, but one thing that I have to give Jay-Z has had beef. People have said shit about Jay-Z.
Yeah.
They have called him, they said he got baby mamas all over the place. They said he
Yeah.
messed with Foxy Brown. He messed with not Aaliyah. He messed with somebody else. Rihanna. It was rumors that he, messed with all of them. One thing, and then when the whole Chris Brown and Rihanna thing happened, one thing about Jay-Z, did you ever hear him talk, even when he got into it with Solange? Did you ever hear him talk about it?
And so what? And so here's the thing. And this, ladies and gentlemen, here's my problem. And this has to do with what I feel a real definition of a man is. Okay. Because the shit that Lil Boosie and T.I were doing is feminine to me. That's feminine.
It's giving real feminine energy.
Real, that's like you got titties. I'm
giving
ovaries. You
pussy.
doing too much. It's like I feel like Charleston, like, yo, he fucking y'all in y'all pussies. That's the way you acting. Like, I understand what you don't have no control over what
kicked on the pussy.
Fucked up. But he fucking you in your pussies by the way you acting. Like, yeah, Jay-Z have all that shit happen to him, but you don't see him on here tweeting and shit like a bitch, live, like, girl, you ain't gonna believe what did happen to me because I'm up. Don't do that shit as a man. It don't look good.
And he ain't gotta kill nobody either. No,
No.
I can't, it's not about killing somebody, because allegedly Boosie has a history there, but it's not about that. It's about settling things like, I completely agree with you.
Don't be
Point
up
well
there
taken.
like, I just take that type of like dialogue and just involving the general public in your conflict as feminine. That's like the female rappers that be going back and forth.
Yes. Or
that's
like the Real Housewives.
Yeah, it's like
giving housewives.
As a man, like if you was my man and you came home and you've been arguing all day on the internet, I don't fuck you. What is this? Oh, it's like, no, I'm gonna go get me a stud. If I ever have a nigga that be on the internet arguing all day, I'm be like, fuck this. I'm gonna do the Niecy Nash.
Like, no thanks.
Like,
ew.
Yuck.
No. No.
But it's been entertaining.
It is kind of entertaining because Charleston White, he says some things that trigger me though too. And I'm like, I have to remember that he is a character. He's playing a character because he said some things that I'm like, I don't rock with that. I can't rock with. He needs to be careful though, because I do realize that he's trying to make a living as an internet, viral sensation. So he's gonna say whatever. He does spit facts sometimes. He spits facts
often,
but those facts are often peppered with some bullshit, and it makes it hard. Like, see, now you done said some bullshit. Like, come on now, I can't even take you serious. But for the most part, he's joking. I mean, he's trolling, he's joking, he's just saying shit to get a rise.
He's fucking with him.
He's fucking with all of us.
He's fucking with right. But the crazy part is, he is questioning this faulty, twisted definition of manhood and masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
And that is part of this because he's gone against gangs. He's called out specific old head gang members.
Dang.
So he's called out the whole culture of gangs. He's called out Crips. He's called out Bloods. He's called
snitching. Talks about.
Yeah. So part of this hate is that. So because this stuff has been so glamorized.
And we've let the society has really let them run amok.
Exactly.
And let them do whatever they, and we have to abide by this set of this arbitrary set of this code that they don't even abide by. It's like some Donald Trump shit where you change the game, you change the rules whenever you want. So I think it's really clever of him to actually shed a light, shine a light on some of those discrepancies and contradictions.
Right. So do I feel I'm not tearing up for the niggas he calling out? And these niggas supposed to be so hard, they killers. And you mad some little skinny 5'9" dude?
He's tiny.
Cockeyed dude, which he called himself,
Yes.
is saying words on the internet, got you losing it. Who are you?
Yeah, get your word game up. Like you said, you use words for a living. Come on.
Get
Get
out of
over
here.
yourself.
I feel him. So Lil Boosie and T.I, I feel you. Don't nobody want to hear nobody talk like that about your children, regardless as to what your children are doing and who they are.
And what they look like.
And I and I get that. However, Lil Boosie was talking about Dwayne Wade's child.
He sure was. He sure
wanted
was.
Other people's children.
He sure was.
Somebody brought up Tootie Raw, I think is his name. Tootsie Raw or some shit like that. Which that tell you what you need to know right there. Then Charleston White brought up, here's the thing, when you run your mouth as much as they do. He brought up how Lil Boosie talk about how he got his little early preteen son head from a stripper.
Child abuse.
Right. So like that shit that he said that.
And then he said, why the fuck are we listening to him? Why do we give a fuck about what Lil Boosie is?
It's true.
He has a point.
Right. So it's like who? That's what I'm saying. They're not sympathetic characters. They're not.
They should get over it. I think they should just let this moment in history just kind of die down on its own. Don't give it any more fuel. Don't throw any gasoline on it. Just let it die down on its own. That's what they should do.
What T.I should have done, I get it. I would have called that man too, regardless as to what my child, I would have attempted to talk to him, knowing that the point ain't for me to talk to him because that motherfucker wants to talk to the internet.
And once you realize that,
it is what it is.
Let that govern the rest of your, don't get on the internet and feed into it because then you look weak. You look weak.
And the other thing is, at home, let's have a real conversation.
Let's have a real sit your narrow hair all over the place, have an ass down.
And if I don't have the proper influence over this young man, then I don't, which may be the case because when he had that incident at the Waffle House, I don't know if that was a month or so ago, T.I, because people was like tagging him, because T.I always, he always run his mouth, got commentary about other people's situations. People kept tagging him like, what the fuck up with your son? He finally had to say, I'm aware of all of this. I've talked to him. He knows he gonna do what he gonna do. All right. And I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he said. Basically, like, I done told this nigga. I done told him, but he ain't listening. Okay. So it's logical to think he probably done told him again and he ain't listening. All right. Okay.
Talk about a slip showing.
Oh my God.
I am not getting on the internet and saying that shit. I don't care how many people tag me. Like, I'm not even like, I'm going to talk to my son. Like, listen, do you see all this shit these people are saying? You are embarrassing not only yourself, but you're embarrassing me now. And I have a brand to protect.
So let me get this straight. I'm gonna tell you this. Be on the internet smoking weed. Let me share something with you. My child, if he smoke weed, I will guarantee you this. He better not ever be nowhere where I might see his ass.
Right?
I dare you.
You know what I'm saying?
And I got 2 ovaries. I dare him.
So I'm looking at his mama funny now too.
Exactly. So this little nigga, what is this? This motherfucker 18 and he on the internet smoking weed, no shirt. He don't give a fuck.
Like, who's paying for this internet? Who's paying for that phone? Who's paying for his streaming service?
I wish my son would ever try me like that. I wish he would.
But he wouldn't. He wouldn't. You know why? Because your son has respect for you. Unlike certain other people's kids. So instead of him getting mad, it sounds like he has misplaced anger is what it sounds like, T.I. His anger needs to be directed at his weird looking ass son.
Either you charge that to the game, like, you know what I'm saying? But I'd be like, you're not about to make me a motherfucking fool along with your dumb ass. Nah, we'll handle what happened to, and that's my like.
Maybe that's why he's acting out. maybe he's been
I don't know.
maybe
That's
he's been
part of
bullied because he's not. He looks strange.
You are wrong. There is nothing wrong with how that child looks. It is
Yes,
how he,
it is.
it is how
Yes,
he
it is.
acts. It's how he acts. But
Well,
that's
pretty is as pretty does. My mom used to say.
But
And
that's
he
my
acting
issue.
real ugly.
Wow.
Pretty is
Well,
as pretty
he
does.
won't be a thug.
Not
They
cute. It ain't a good
felt
look.
that.
Kids are not. Let me tell you something. Kids, we can talk about badass kids. We can talk about your badass kids. If you aren't gonna check your badass kids, we can talk about their badass, especially when they on there acting a plumb fool. Now, come on.
But
Come on.
okay, so but here's part of the problem. And part of my problem with this generation. What happened to doing your dirt by your lonely? Why the fuck you gotta broadcast
On the internet? Yeah.
Yeah, nigga, smoke your weed. Damn, you know your parents public figures, but why you gotta broadcast?
That's just ultimate disrespect. That is the ultimate disrespect.
It's like you don't give a fuck. They
We don't
ain't
give
even saying don't smoke weed. They just saying don't broadcast.
Don't do it on the internet.
Motherfucker. There are no secrets. People do every motherfucker, all the shit you gotta talk. Niggas rob somebody, they gotta go on the internet and show the chains and the cash. There, people don't do their dirt by they lonely, no motherfucking more. They gotta be all out, showing they shit off. It's like
that's how all of the that's how the but you know what? That's how the insurrectionists got hit up doing that shit on the internet.
right.
Like we see y'all. Don't you see we can see you motherfuckers? Y'all live streaming. Dumbass.
You know that you broadcasting.
You know we can see you, right? You're not invisible.
Right. Yo, what about you got your work badge on?
That's called disrespect. That's like ultimate disrespect. When you are just not only are you doing the bad thing, but you're doing it on the internet where it will live in perpetuity. You are doing that. That is so disrespectful to me. And I'm not saying that, you know, it has never or can never happen to me or, you know, but I would hope that a child of mine, I could pull rank a little bit and be like, you know, let me tell you something.
Yeah, but you know what? That's just like if you in a relationship and like your nigga don't even like go out of his way to cheat in private.
Right. He all out in the public.
Right. He like posting pictures and he out with another chick.
Him and his other boo.
Right. He don't even respect you enough.
Like damn me, huh? Just damn me. You don't even care if I see you, huh?
No. He get a text. He like, oh, I gotta go. Like you ain't even pretending. Like fuck this.
I used to tell my kids that if you know, even about cursing in public, because I know all kids curse, you know, and kids probably start cursing, probably say middle school or something. I was always like, listen, if you're gonna curse, you better be well outside of somebody, because somebody's always watching. You better be outside of the earshot of anybody who is an adult, because that's disrespectful. If you're gonna curse, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear you do it, and I don't want to hear about it. I understand, you know, it's gonna happen, but and they have respect enough that nobody ever said, "Oh, I heard your child cursing on the street."
Same for me, and that's why it's like, even if I gotta win, that my son was like saying something in a way that like I shouldn't have had access to. Then I'm like, hell yeah, nigga. Do that shit like in your privacy, nigga.
Exactly.
Right. That's how you do it. You do it. He minding his own motherfucking business. He's taking the right precautions so that his mama doesn't catch wind of it.
Yep.
That's his business. That's his business. Have some motherfucking respect. I don't care. Like you say, you kids gonna curse or whatever when they gonna do it, long as you show some type of pizzazz with how you do shit.
We have a brand. We have a brand to protect. We've always, you know, I've always told my kids that you protect the brand at all costs. If it's gonna make our brand suffer, then you better think twice before you do it.
What you doing? Like, what
And
are you doing?
I'm not saying that, everybody has, I'm not saying it never, never say never. Kids are gonna, be misbehave and do things they aren't supposed to do. But I would hope that a good prudent parent would at least pull their kid's coat when they see them going down the wrong path and not get mad at the messenger. Don't get mad at the messenger. Shit. What's his name? Charleston White is the messenger in this case.
And don't expect more from a stranger than you expect from your child.
Right.
Don't expect him to have some standards, and
get that boy some help. Get him some help then. If he needs help, get his little ass some help. Get him off the internets. Because he's showing his natural black arse on the internets.
He's documenting crimes.
And it's not a good look. It's not cute.
Oh.
Literally.
That's it. It's so wrong. Okay. We probably should end there.
Oh, okay. Oh, goodness.
Thank you for listening. If you like what you heard, review, subscribe, and share. It helps other listeners find us. And don't forget to follow us at Yummy Fearless on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and even Pinterest, where you'll find additional content from today's show and also our highly curated He Can Get It list. As always, you can listen to the Yummy and Fearless podcast with the Side Chicks on Apple iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, and Spotify. And if no one else has told you today, we love you and thank you so much for listening.
You've been listening to a podcast of the Podfix Network. Discover more audible gems like this at podfixnetwork.com. Make sure to catch up-to-the-minute network shenanigans by following @Podfix on Twitter, official_Podfix on Instagram, @Podfix Network on Facebook. And make sure to subscribe to Podfix Presents wherever you choose to find podcasts. The Podfix Network, artist owned and loved.